What is the purpose of life? What is man's role in nature? First response to Shafter.
Man's role in nature, the purpose of life. We as humans have the ability, because of the lack of a deity telling us what to do, we have the ability to decide what is our purpose in life. We can say our purpose is to create a better world. We don't have to wait until we die and go to heaven. We can say here on this world, our purpose here is to make this world better. And that, to me, is my purpose. Now, as far as our place in nature, we are animals. We are part of nature. We are not separate from it. We are not special because of our ability to think. We are a piece of nature, and we need to put ourselves in that perspective so that when things happen, as other things that are happening right now across our world, we can take care of it and realize that we are not special, and we don't have the right to be able to take everything from this earth just because we have the ability to make a tool.
Okay, I would say there's two different purposes of life. I would say there's a purpose of life, of course, of each individual. Like my purpose of life, being more geared towards what I want to do as a person. Do I want to be nice? Do I want to be mean? Do I want to, try to help the world? Do I want to try to hurt the world? Just this individual purpose of life. But also the purpose just of our species as a whole. I wouldn't necessarily say that we have a purpose other than, perpetuating what we already have and possibly trying to further ourselves. But one idea that I find kind of interesting is that maybe man isn't what everything has been working towards. I mean, who's to say that we are the ultimate being? Who's to say that we are everything, that the whole world has come together and we're the ultimate, we are the best it's going to get. I mean, we're emotionally volatile. We can't know anything, we can't know everything. We try as hard as we can, and we make lots of progress, but, calling ourselves the supreme, the top beings of the world, I think that it's kind of species-centric, and I think, of course, we don't know anything more than that right now, so, but it's kind of like being race-centric, or ethnocentric, or egocentric. I think we kind of have a species-centrism, feeling that we are the best that there is ever going to be, and I don't know that we are.
Whether or not you believe in evolution, you have to admit that human beings are a part of the natural world simply because we do exist within it. We have the ability, particular to our species' ability to think, to use logic and rationality to possibly benefit the entire world and preferably benefit ourselves in the process. Don't always work it out that way, but we try. The purpose of life, individually, like she said, you have to find that for yourself. But as a whole, as a species, I would say that all our drives are biological still. We still have the drive to reproduce. We still have the drive to spread. So the only thing that's going to help us spread now is putting more effort into scientific discovery, studying. As a species, we've got to improve ourselves. That's the only purpose we have. Like I said, individually, you can pick what you want. But as part of nature, we do have the same biological purposes that every other animal has.
First of all, I think I would have to say that, purpose of life is unfortunately not something that you can necessarily prove because you can say what something is, and then prove that through logic and reason, but to prove why, unfortunately, that is just a matter of opinion, and I think that Shafter reflected that very well, because, the thing is that they started under the presupposition that there is no God, therefore, find whatever purpose you want, and I would say, I can't really disprove that. But I would just, I would really just distinguish what Christians believe is that, I would say that, if if there truly is no God, then yes, you can find whatever purpose you want, and then it doesn't really matter. However, I just want to say that if there is a God, then we cannot live without Him. Because of this reason, everything which is designed and created by will has a purpose. There are things which have no purpose, and those are called accidents. If we are accidents, the first thing, we could create any purpose for ourselves that we wanted. But if something is not an accident but created intentionally, then its purpose is best whatever it was designed for. If somebody comes along and tries to change the function, then it's not going to live up to its full potential. For example, my computer can actually function very, very well as a doorstop, but that is not what it was made to do. And if I just because it works doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it's best for. And what it's best for is what it was designed for. And I think that in the same way that if we humans are created beings, then if we try to create a purpose for ourselves apart from what our Creator made us for, then we are going to fall short. I don't think we could make a better purpose for ourselves because we're not smarter than an all-knowing God. So I believe that in order to find our true purpose, we have to go back to our Creator, and that I believe is the purpose of life, to go back to our Creator and have that relationship with Him, and then He will guide us to what we're meant to do.
Response?
All right. Just one of the things he hit on, the computer will work great as a doorstop, especially a lot of Dells and HPs, but and Macs. No. But the computer itself, it was made. It also didn't evolve. It wasn't created. They obviously, computers have gone some sort of evolutionary process nowadays. We've developed new computers, but the computer itself, it's going to work great as a doorstep, just like we could work great as a doorstep after we passed away, right? So either way, you can make that sort of comment about anything. But we evolved. We actually grew over time with pressures changing us into who we are, into the organism that we are, and why we work, right? We work under the presupposition that there is no God. They work under the presupposition that there is a God. So fundamentally, there's going to be a difference in that argument from those viewpoints. And you just have to look at it from that way, I guess.
There's an atheist a quote by an atheist, Bertrand Russell. I know you're probably all familiar with his essay, Free Man's Worship. He mentions in there that humankind is ultimately just an accidental collocation of atoms. What significance do humans have if we're just a present product of a mindless, impersonal process that began with a collection of particles in some primordial soup that evolved over time? Like he said, sure, each individual can make a purpose for their lives, but as for an ultimate meaning for life in general, for the universe, for all of humanity, if there is no God, a creator who gives meaning, meaning does not exist. And I think they admitted that there is no ultimate meaning. You make meaning for yourself. What if my meaning is to kill you? I guess that's supposed to be fine and dandy.
That's not fine and dandy. All right. I guess we're going to move on to question 3. If you do have any questions, please remember to fill out those index cards and pass them to the inns. Shop members will be collecting them. All right. Question number 3. Is the Bible scientifically accurate on the issue of the Great Flood, the Noah's Ark story, the book of Genesis? First we'll go to BSM.
To answer the question, I'm glad we isolated a topic, because to talk about the whole Bible being scientifically accurate is a debate itself for multiple ones. There's so much that we talk about, argue about. And the Bible is not a book about science, but where it talks about science, I believe is true. Even though that the facts and figures of your world today may not validate that, does not mean something is true. You look at Marco Polo, they thought the earth was flat, and they were wrong about that. Whether the Bible or not said the earth was round is a different story, but there are times in the Bible that can be looked at and you say, wow, this isn't what happens at all in nature. And then several hundred years later we find out